evaluator tonight, and I'm very impressed with your level of language this evening. Okay, I will start off my evaluation in three main parts. That will be people who use the word of the evening effectively and correctly. That people who use it badly, I don't think there is. Subsequently, the second point would be on the bad use of language. And the third would be the good use of language. I went for the language evaluation and general evaluation workshop recently, last Saturday, and I really learned what is the role of a language evaluator, and I would like to really be able to teach all of you and share with you my experience. So first of all, I will touch on the good usage of the language, especially of the word of the evening, which is expedite, expeditious, expeditiously. About three of you mentioned this about 2 or 3 times, and Bibi mentioned it about 3 times. Sharon mentioned it about 2 times. Expedite the meeting, expeditious evaluation, expeditiously, expeditious response by the table topics master, and expeditiously leave this place. I was very amused by some of the way how you use the word actually. And bad usage, I didn't detect any bad usage of the word of the evening, which is very commendable. Then, yeah, for the bad usage of language in this case, which is where my recommendations would come in, would be on use of grammar. Grammar, I detected quite a few S's that were slipped out or just accidentally left out. Everyone can relate to. Maybe you can help me with that. Everyone can relate to. Poor rate. Poor rate. Something that is not related to engineer. Engineering, correct. Or the field of engineering. That would be, I started to think of. Then pronunciation would be continue instead of continue. So continue. Confidence rather than confidence. Conclusion instead of conclusion. Experience instead of experience. Expedite, in this case, would be X-E-X. Experience is different from expedite, correct? Just like the word excellence. Excellence, excel with excellence. So it's different from excel. Excel is pronounced with I-K. I-K. But excellence is pronounced excellence. So sometimes people get confused. Then as for the use of humor, something that I would like to comment on would be, some of you mentioned overly sugary, spicy. I'm not sure whether that is, but I thought it was very funny. It was something of a very good use of humor. And also the table topics section was one section that I felt that you made use of many words that were quite related to each other, and especially I like the one, in view of financial crisis, I think that a woman's spending habit is a virtue. That was something that I found very funny. And you use analogy, like just now when Kenneth came out to do the table topics, you used good use of analogy in the sense that you made use of the TV to explain how a woman is, and Carla also made use of how the TV and turn it back. So it was a very good use of analogy. And sentence structure wise, I think most of you are quite good in your language, and I didn't really detect many pronunciation errors, which is also very commendable. The next one will be the use of rhetorical devices. I was waiting for people to come up with alliterations like with C's or D's in triplets, but I didn't detect any, so I was quite disappointed. You can use things like minister, mentor, smile, or you can use things like live, learn, love. These are alliterations. And triads, I didn't detect any as well. Triads are things that are in trees, where you can say, let's serve with fervor, passion, and joy. It's something that is very useful. As for metaphors, I think when Kenneth came up, he mentioned hailstorm of impossibilities. That was a very good metaphor. You could see the use of very descriptive and vivid words. And I like it when you said bogged down by the impossibilities. You said ball realization, and especially when you described the running, you said left him in dust. That was something that was very vivid. That was something that was very descriptive, which I think the audience could almost visualize that actualizing. Of course, I also want to commend some of them for using things like every failure is a blessing in disguise. That's a quotation, as well as Carla's use of a quotation by Aristotle. Also, flavorable aroma was something that was very vivid. Something like wallowed up at work. And you mentioned something that is listen with my heart. How can you listen with your heart? People usually listen with our ears, but you listen with your heart. That was something that I felt very commendable. And the use of anecdotes as well. The use of carrots, eggs, and coffee beans. And the use of acronym. Acronym are things that make use of words, the first letter of each of the word. Like LAPA, although it doesn't sound very nice, but then again, it is a good use of acronym where you make use of LA, APA, and you expounded on each of them. With that, I would like to thank you for inviting me to be the language evaluator of this evening, and I hope that most of you will be able to do better in future when it comes to language.